A lot of people create videos, but they don't spend this 30 minutes or 20 minutes doing their optimization of their video, and you're going to pay the price for that. Because why wouldn't you do this to get, 2 times, 3 times the amount of exposure? You might as well give your video a chance to be seen by people, and just doing these few little tweaks will give you a greater chance of that. And I'm going to show you behind the scenes of me releasing a video. I grabbed a clip from a GarageBand users video, a GarageBand weekly video that I did last week, and it was a clip about EQing and using your ears to EQ instead of your eyes. And what I need to do now is actually work out how to title this, what description I should put in there, do my tags, get my thumbnail done. The first thing I need to do is jump over to my YouTube creator dashboard here. So I'm going to go to the studio.youtube.com, and if you do the same with your YouTube channel, it's going to look something like this. So here is all of my uploads. Now, I'm not showing the upload process. I've showed this on previous videos. The way that I do my videos, and I'll bring you in here to give you a very quick look. I've already deleted it. There you go. But I use LumaFusion on my phone. So all I did was last night, I grabbed LumaFusion, I used this template, and I downloaded from StreamYard directly to my phone the full recording. So the beauty of StreamYard, the service I'm using here, we're not talking about it today, but the reason it's cool is that it actually records your whole videos as well. So when I do a live show, like the one I'm doing right now, getting very meta, what I can do is go into the back end and download the entire video file, video and audio, of that. I then import it into here. I grab the clip I want. I edit it together using LumaFusion on my phone. I export it to my camera roll, and then I upload it to YouTube, and then I'm done. So then it's all done. So I then go to my YouTube app here. I upload it into YouTube, and then it goes here into my desktop, into my YouTube Creator Studio, which is where we're at now. So this is where it's at. This is the video. So let's go into edit this one. We will click the details button here, and we'll go through all the different things that I do here. Now, you may have noticed that there is this little thing up the top here that is our TubeBuddy dashboard. Now, if you haven't used TubeBuddy before, it is my go-to for when I'm releasing videos. What TubeBuddy does is it gives you things like the Keyword Explorer. It gives you a checklist for releasing your videos. It will help you with things like your descriptions, your tags, your titles. It basically holds your hand and makes sure that every time you release a video, you're doing things by the best practices that YouTube would actually recommend. So I'm going to use this here. It's up there, but you'll notice that it's also down here. We've got these best practices. So what it says is that the best practices are to add chapters, to get a like on Facebook. We can't do that yet. To add an end screen, to add info cards, add to a playlist, add some tags, and add tags to your title. So these are all of the things that they think that we should do here. And we are going to do, in fact, all of those right now. So let me give you a quick look at the video first so that we can make sure together that it's going to actually work. So there's our man Sion. It was a question that he asked or a tip that he gave here, and I've actually expanded on that tip here in the video. So I will play the video through, and what I'm actually going to do, the first thing I'm going to do here is my timestamps. So this is what I'll usually do is I'll come here because you would have seen here, add chapters is one of the things that it wants. Now this is only a 2:30 video. So maybe we do, maybe we don't need timestamps, but I'm going to add them anyway. So we'll come in here and we'll go timestamps, and we will start doing these. So 00:00 is obviously the start of our video. So let's hit play on this and work out what timestamps we're going to put in here. Mix with your ears, not your eyes, when at all possible. So the challenge, the problem you have with if you use the analyzer too much, you're going to start looking. All right, so this is sort of the next section here, which is, I'm just going to put mix with your ears. So the whole purpose of this video is to talk about the fact that there's a visualizer, so the EQ visualizer is there in GarageBand iOS, but you want to use your ears still and mix with your ears, not your eyes, whenever possible. So we need the title to reflect that, but also be something appealing that people will want to actually watch. So we'll work on that in a moment, but we'll just work through these at the moment. Now, what I've got a shortcut here, and I recommend this if you're doing a lot of videos, even if your videos are not tutorials, but you're releasing your own songs, because all of this applies to your own songs. Maybe not the chapters, but all the other stuff we talk about is going to apply to your own songs. So I have a OneNote document here that is my template. And I've been using the same one since November 2019. You can see here because it's working and it works well. So this is the template that I use. So you can see here, it's got how to connect with me at the bottom there, all the resources. So like DistroKid, StreamYard, Canva that we talk about, my merchandise, the gear guide, all of that stuff. And it's also got timestamps there. So we're going to copy all of this and we're going to paste it over here into YouTube. Now we can just grab these timestamps that we've created, cut them there, and then put them here. Now, one of the most important things is this first line of your video. Now, on a recent Patreon live stream, again, a shout out to my patrons, you guys rock. On a recent Patreon live stream, I think I picked on you, Gary Hubbs. I think I picked on Tom Rochelle as well. I picked on a bunch of folks, and I looked at the first line of their videos. And when you're releasing a video to YouTube, whether it's your own song, whether it's a tutorial, whether it's a behind the scenes, the first line is what shows up on the search results or shows up when someone's about to click your video. So all the words you put in those first 1 or 2 sentences are super important. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to say how to use the visualizer in GarageBand iOS and why you should mix with your ears and not your eyes. I don't really want to say it like that. And why it is what I say, and why it's important to mix with, and why it is important to use your ears as well as your eyes when using EQ and mixing in GarageBand iPad and GarageBand iPhone. So that statement there, and I know it's very small there on your screen. Can we embiggen that a bit? Boop. Boop, there we go. That statement there is doing a couple of things. It should be something to humans, so don't just put a bunch of tags in there. Don't go visualizer, EQ, GarageBand, iPhone, iPad, mixing. But it should have those keywords in there. So how to use the visualizer in GarageBand iOS and why it's important to use your ears as well as your eyes when using EQ and mixing in GarageBand iPad and GarageBand iPhone. Now this line here, this sentence is more important than any other tags. It's probably your title and your thumbnail, the only thing's more important than that. And it should all align here. So now that I've written that, I'll come back to my title and I'll say how to use the visualizer, because that's the main thing. How to use the visualizer in GarageBand iOS, which is the basic point of this one. But it's sort of expanding out onto that. So that's what I'm going to do. I normally have one thing in caps there. All caps is tacky. No caps looks a bit weird. So I use one caps there. So I've used this all based on my experience here, but I'll show you in a moment with TubeBuddy how we can actually kind of enhance this or check that we're doing something correctly. So that's all done there. We've got all of our description and we've got our title. So description done, title done, all good. Now we're still unlisted here because we haven't actually released this video yet. The next thing I like to do is my tags. Now, tags have reduced in importance in recent times. We scroll down to the bottom here. They used to be super important. Now, not so much. So it's still important to actually put these in here, but don't spend a whole heap of time. Now, here's the cool thing. Check this out. Recommended tags. So we've got tag tools here. We've got a keyword explorer and we've also got recommended tags. So for something like this, I would probably start putting tags in that I think are going to be good. So I definitely want something like GarageBand EQ. And what you'll notice here is that I do these, it's going to give me these related search terms. Now these are all search terms that are recommended by TubeBuddy based on what people are actually searching for on YouTube. This is where it gets super powerful, yeah? So GarageBand EQ tutorials there. We've got GarageBand Equalizer, GarageBand EQ plugin. All of these are relevant. GarageBand EQ explained. You don't want to put stuff in here that's not relevant. GarageBand EQ settings, put all those in there. Then I want something like GarageBand Visual EQ. So GarageBand Visual EQ is there. GarageBand Visualizer, we'll put in there. So they're relevant ones as well. I'll then come down here to the Keyword Explorer and take a bit of look at here. So if we go GarageBand EQ, what else do we have here? Well, we can look at who's searching. So this one, I won't go into detail here, but this gives you how many people are actually searching the term GarageBand EQ. And this says its score is fair because very few people are searching for it. but there's not much competition for it. So there's not a whole bunch of videos about GarageBand EQ, but the reason it's only a fair score is not many people are searching for it either. So that's something. You can go to here to common tags too, and you can see some of these common tags that you want here. So if I wanted to do this, so these ones are all pretty commonly used tags. Make sure that they're all how to use GarageBand, mixing with GarageBand, GarageBand mixing, action. We want to insert into current video, and done. So that's put all of those back into our tags. And we come back to this screen and look, boop, 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 like magic, it's put all those in there. We can then come down to here and let's just add some more recommended tags that are a little more generic. GarageBand, GarageBand iPad, Garage Spaceband, how to, GarageBand for beginners. There you go. So we've got 388. I normally try to fill up the 500 there with tags to put in here. So what else can we go? GarageBand tutorial iPad. It's weird when there's things like come up here like GarageBand Guide and Dean Davis and other people that do things, GarageBand mixing. All right, so we'll go with that for now. I'll probably fill the rest of those in, but I'm conscious of time here. So we'll hit the save button there. You can see how TubeBuddy really helps you with that. Instead of flying blind, you're actually knowing what people are searching for. And oftentimes when I go through those tags, it might make me actually rethink the description and the title that I put there. Now, again, to relate this back to someone that might be releasing a song, you wouldn't be having this sort of stuff here. But say you're doing a metal song, you'd put in there death metal. It might give you then a whole bunch of different tags and description ideas about what you can put here. So this, for your death metal song, it may be a death metal song created in GarageBand using the blah plugin and with this sort of guitars. And then you'll use that to populate out your tags to make sure your title's relevant and to make sure people are actually seeing your stuff. That's what I'm going through here. So that's all done there. Now, if we come back here and we recheck these, it'll give us an update on what we've done. So you can see here, we've now got rid of those the things that we wanted there. Now it's got add to a playlist. So what playlist does this need to go to? Well, we need to come in here, and I've actually got a GarageBand iOS goodness playlist, which is one of them there. I'm pretty sure I've got an EQ playlist, so I can just search EQ here, EQ in GarageBand. There you go. They're the two relevant playlists that this should go into, and we'll hit save on there. So that is done. End screen. Now, an end screen is the screen at the end of a video that pops up when you finish watching it. You've seen these before. They've got like a subscribe, and they might have a video button on there as well. So let's hit the end screen button here and add this end screen in. We're going to go to element up the top here. Now, by default, it does an end screen for the last 20 seconds. That's probably what we'll do. So we'll hit the element here. We'll put a subscribe button, and I tend to just put this in the top right corner. So if someone's got to the end of a video, they're like, hey, that's pretty cool, I'd like to see more, it'll pop up that subscribe button there. And the other element I put here is a relevant video for the person that's just watched that, or even better, is a relevant playlist. So I'm assuming someone watching this is interested in GarageBand EQ. So I'm going to go playlist here, and I'm going to use this one here, EQ in GarageBand iOS. I've got 14 videos in my GarageBand playlist. Now for you, if it was a song, you may want to link to a playlist of a bunch of your other songs, because that's actually going to help people discover more of your music. So we'll pop this down here in the bottom corner. We'll pop it just up a little bit so it's above that line. And to preview this, we just hit play. So not saying that Sion's not right here. It is. If you need to find it, if you need to have an analyzer, use these two in conjunction. And you can, of course, have them both on at the same time. You can use multiple. Make sure you do have them at the very bottom of your All right, so because it's such a short video, I actually want both of these to be a little bit later. I need to sneeze. The joy of live sneezes. So I want these to be a little bit later, so you can just grab them and actually put them at any point in the video. So I actually don't want it to be, because I'm showing a bunch of stuff there, I want it to be down here at the very bottom of your plugin chain though. Generally speaking, you want to have your EQ at the end as opposed to up here at the start. So I'd put it just above your visual EQ there. All right, so we'll hit save on that one. And every time you do something here, you can come down here and update your best practices, and it will tell you what you're left to do. Now, the last things to do, get a like on Facebook. Well, we're going to release this video in a moment, and if someone likes it, then it's going to be liked. But when we actually get to this, you can, oh, by the way, yeah, good point from Tom Rochelle. Once you've done a few end screens, you can import from another similar video. Spot on. And I should have showed that. Good point. See, this is why you're here. So you would have noticed here that we added those in there. We can actually import, actually won't show it now, but before you start putting things in there, it'll give you an option up the top there that you might have seen that was import from previous video. And you can do that, which makes, if you're using the same sort of end screen at the end of every video, makes it super important. Makes it super easy. All right, we'll finish up here by doing our thumbnail and info cards. So info cards are those little cards that pop up at the top. I don't really need one on here. Actually, there's one spot I think I need one. What I might do is let's add a link to LRC7 because I've got a video on LRC7 and I mention it and start using it whereabouts? Down about here. There we go. So as I'm going into LRC7, let's add a card. So I just clicked on cards out there. We're going to go video. And my videos, LRC7, there it is. So that will just pop up a little card at that point and it will say, here's a video. We'll hit save on that one. Now, the one thing that this doesn't tell you to do is monetize. So because I'm a member of the YouTube Partner Program, I do want to monetize this video. So I'll come in here to monetization. Now, because it's a short video, I don't get many options. I just go on and hit next. This is all the guidelines. So this is me saying I don't have adult content or violence or shocking content, no harmful or dangerous acts, no sensitive events. So I can go none of the above. And this is me basically self-declaring to YouTube that we're all good. Now, what I'm going to do is put either skippable or non-skippable video ads. It defines which one it wants there, and I've got no choice here. It's going to put a pre-roll and a post-roll, but because it's only a 2.5-minute video, it won't put any mid-rolls. So we're done. We hit save, and that saves in the monetization. If I didn't want to monetize, no problem. All I need to do is leave the monetization off. We'll wait for that to save in, which just takes a couple of minutes, and we're done. Back to our channel content. Here we are good to go. Final thing we need is a thumbnail because no one's going to click on that as the thumbnail, my little Studio Live Today logo. We need a thumbnail. And where do we do our thumbnails? Of course, we do them back here at Canva. So all I'll do is I'll find my previous GarageBand thumbnail. So this one here, free limiter plugin. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to make a copy so that we've got a new version here and grab this one here. So this is what we have. Now, my daughter did something really cool here. I'll delete that and I'll delete that. My daughter did something cool. She created this second page on my template, which she called the Pointing Pete's. So I can choose one of my Pointing Pete's that's going to be relevant to the graphic that I choose that I'm pointing at, which is kind of cool. And they've all had the background removed using Canva. They're all ready to go. So we'll go back over to here. We need a snappy bit of text here. So what I'm going to put is maybe GarageBand. We need EQ visualization. Yeah, so it's not going to really fit visualize. So that's not really going to work. So EQ visualizer. Or yeah, so this is where I get a little bit caught. We'll go with that for now. The beauty part of all this is you can change this over time, and we'll make that 150. You can change all this over time based on what you're actually wanting to put there. All right, let's jump back over to GarageBand because what we need is a screenshot that we can actually share that displays what we want here. So we want the visual EQ. So we want to come here. We're going to go to there. We're going to go to plugins and EQ, visual EQ. And we want to have the analyzer on. Oh, it was on. And we want it to actually be playing. Let's just put a couple of moves in there to make it look even a bit cooler and funkier. And I'm just going to hit play. And I'm going to try and take a screenshot here of a point that's going to look cool for this thumbnail. How was that? Did we do well? Yeah, that's pretty darn cool, yeah. Let's go with that. Now, the beauty part here is that we can just, because we're all in the Mac and the Apple world, we can just share this. We can airdrop it straight to my Mac Mini, and that's going to pop up over on here. You can hear the bip, 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 bip. So it's dropping in now. It's coming in. Come in, spinner. And that should be close to done. There we go. We've received it. So it's come in over here, and then we can just grab it. If I go to here, we can go to my Finder and go to my downloads. It should be dropped right there. There it is. So here you go. So there is the file that we need. That's the image. And then all we need to do is bring this into Canva. And again, I love Canva for this sort of stuff. There's the image. All we need to do is drag it and drop it straight into Canva. And look at that. It brings it straight in. It uploads it. And now it's on our Canva account forever. And we can use this. Look, here's I've got literally thousands of images here in Canva that I've used over the years. So we can click that. We bring it straight in here. We just line this up as our background by stretching it out. and finding a location for it like that. Hit the position button up here and go backwards to put it behind and line it up where it's going to look cool. Maybe something like that. Is that going to be cool? Yeah, that's going to create some... I left that dot there, unfortunately. I kind of want it there, but I'm low on time, so I should have just put that red dot out of the way. But instead, we'll just bring it up there. That's going to look cool anyway, because then you've got a little bit of the green and yellow down there as well. And now let's find a pointing peak. Actually, we'll move this. We need a little bit more white. So we'll give it a bit more white space. We'll grab that, drag it down, put this in the middle. Boom. And which pointing peak shall we choose? Let's go. We did one with the red, maybe this Foo Fighters pointing Pete with his thumb. So we'll just copy that. We'll paste it here, and then we'll pointing Pete, pop it out the bottom, and pointing to the visualization like that. And that way we get a little bit of everything in there. We'll lighten it up here with the adjustment, brightness, a little bit of brightness, a little extra contrast. Boom, thumbnail. Done. Who'd click that? If you're looking to learn about the visualizer, that's cool, yeah? That'll do it. All right, so let's actually, we'll rename it here. So thumbnail, and we'll call it GarageBand VQ. Boom, and then we'll hit download. And download just that page one. I know this is all quick. This wasn't meant to be a full Canva tutorial. It's more to show you how powerful this is and how easy it is to do this. And a lot of people create videos, but they don't spend this 30 minutes or 20 minutes doing their optimization of their video. And you're going to pay the price for that, because why wouldn't you do this to get, 2 times, 3 times the amount of exposure? You might as well give your video a chance to be seen by people, and just doing these few little tweaks will give you a greater chance of that. So all we need to do now is come down here, hit the thumbnail, and we're going to go to this one here, GarageBand EQ. Boom, EQ visualizer. And I don't have GarageBand up the top there, but it really doesn't matter, because you can see it's GarageBand. A GarageBand user will know this is GarageBand. So hit save on that one. We've now done everything that we need to do for this one. And Sion's like, that's how the Pete appears. I thought you took pictures every time. I do go in and refresh sometimes, just so that we've got some fresher pictures. Otherwise, it's the same one over and over again. But as you can see, I've got like 30 of them there, so it's pretty good. So there you go. That's everything done. That's everything ready to go. The only thing we don't have is a like on Facebook. I'll release it. And if someone goes and likes it on Facebook, when I share it, then we'll do that, because I'll show you that as the final stage of this process, is how we'll then share this. So what I'm going to do, we're going to make this public. Done. Save. It's public. It's in the world. This video has just gone out. So there you go. While I am live, I've released a video, and it's how to use the visualizer. And you'll notice that I spelt visualizer with a Z using the American spelling, and that is because a large majority of my audience here is in the US. So this is probably one of the more important things that you do once you've actually got your video out there, that you actually share it somewhere else. So I mentioned Facebook before, and I've mentioned the Create, Record, Release group. A question there from RX2, is TubeBuddy an add-on? Yeah, it's a Chrome extension. So if you go down to the description, I'll just go to Create, Record, Release here. If you go down the description, you can download the Chrome extension, install it on your Mac or your PC. There is a mobile version that you can use on your iPhone or iPad. Doesn't quite work as well. So yeah, you can download TubeBuddy, you can install it, and then the free version gives you a bunch of this stuff, and you'll see what you can't get. I use the Pro version, and then there's like a Epic version and a Legend version or something like that. So here's how I share my stuff on Facebook. Is I'll come in here, we'll say use a photo or video, because I've carefully curated this thumbnail. We'll put there. We'll then come over here to my channel, and we'll grab the link by clicking here. We've already had 11 views. We'll click this one. We'll go Get Shareable Link, and I'll paste that in here. And we'll say, hey, creators, check. I can't write stuff on the fly. Hey, creators, ever wondered about the visualizer in the EQ visualizer? Visualizer in GarageBand, and if you should actually use it when mixing, and there you go. And then we'll post that one. So that's it. So, and again, because this is my group, I can obviously post a video in there, and there's no problem. If you're not if you're just using other people's groups, it's a good idea to check the rules and make sure you're not going to be spamming or you're not going to be breaching the rules by posting a link to a video. But yeah, that is something you can do. And obviously you can paste on your own pages, your own Facebook pages. You can post it to Reddit. You can post it to Twitter. You can put it on Instagram and put a link in your bio on Instagram. There's a heap of ways you can promote your video. But there you go. It's now there on YouTube, on Facebook. And in fact, if I like it, look, someone's already liked it. So there you go. So our man here, Bo, has already liked the video. So let's test. Let's check out how good TubeBuddy is if it already knows, because it's integrated and linked in with my Facebook page. It should actually come in here and tell us. If we go back to the studio and we go back to that video, which is here, this one here. Yeah, so we can now come down here and we can recheck all of these, and there you go. Oh, it hasn't registered yet. So it hasn't got a like on Facebook yet. But what you'll notice now is we've got new best practices. So because this is a released video now, it's asking me to heart a comment and to reply to a comment. So if we come to comments here, have we got any comments yet? We have a heart from Sadrin78. So if we like that one and heart it, and just come in here and reply and say, thank you, thanks, and hit reply, then that is going to update that. We come back here and we go back to our best practices, and it still wants a like on Facebook. So it hasn't quite registered that we've had all these likes. Look at that. We've got Gary Hubs, Patrick Chandler. You got you folks that are liking that. I'm going to like it myself, because nothing like big noting your own stuff. So there you go. That is it. That is what we wanted to go through here today, is to just show you a little bit of behind the scenes of what we do here when we release a video on Studio Live today. And it is as simple as that. If you release your own videos, then this might have been useful. Even if you're just creating if you're creating music and you want to share visualizations of your videos, or you want to do other things, then you can do that as well. And it just helps enhance it. And again, check the description. There are links there, affiliate links to Canva if you're looking to get into Canva for your design work, and a link to TubeBuddy if you want to check. Even if you install the free version and just dig around, just do some of the analysis on your channel, it can be really cool.